Hello, everyone. It is Friday, April 12th. This is COPS office hours. I am your moderator, Justin Santa Barbara. I work at Google. This is a reminder this meeting is going to be recorded and put on the internet, and please be mindful of our code of conduct and be a good person. There is an agenda, which I will paste a link to in the notes, and we actually do have a couple of great items on there already. Please do feel free to put your name on there if you would like to. It's helpful for people watching the video afterwards. And otherwise, and please do put any items that you would like to talk about on the agenda, because it looks like otherwise you might not get to them, which will be, yeah. So let's kick us off. Let's kick off with that. So first up, Ryan, do you want to talk about channel version improvements?
Sure. I just wanted to bring it up. So currently today, when there's a change to an add-on, there's no way to change the manifest as it sits in the state store without rolling the version number. So if we can't use any other configuration options inside that manifest, because it won't roll unless you purge the labels, or sorry, purge the annotations off the kube system namespace, which will trick it and force it to pull. So I wanted to bring up some ways to improve that. Can we do something like put the hash of the manifest into the annotation and check that as well as the version? And I just want to bring that up for discussion as to better ways of doing this.
That is a good point. I think, so yes, so right now we have this version tag on the add-ons, and we only install if the version, I think we only install if it's, I can't remember if we only install if it's newer, or only if it's different. I think we only install if it's newer. And yes, we now have the ability to make some changes to the add-on that are configuration changes, like overriding the image, but that doesn't necessarily change that version. I thought there was another piece in there called ID or something that we could maybe use, but I think we should definitely address this. One way we could do it would be, so I think there's another piece in there, which is the ID. The other way to do it would be to have a sort of, and if the ID is different, then we will install always, regardless of version. I can't remember whether it's ID or tag or something like that. If we don't have that, we should have something like that, I think. And that, as you say, could be the hash would be a great way to do that. There's also soon-ish, I hope we will soon start to adopt the add-on operators and add-on management. So that is coming soon. And I think we're clearing the decks on the branches for a bunch of those bigger changes. So we can talk about that in a little bit. But yes, in the short term, is there an issue that you've opened for this that we can then discuss on? I think there is something for tags, but we should discuss it on an issue and figure it out.
Yeah, I think Peter just leaked the issue in there
thank you.
Around this.
Great. Okay. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I think it is a real issue. I thought we had something with tags or something of that nature. I don't know if we're using it today, and we probably should make sure that tags works as I imagine in my mind they work, and that we actually start using them. I think that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up. I'm happy to help on that PR for that. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page as to how to do that.
And I think we could probably use them everywhere from a newer version. So in 1.13, I guess would be the right place to introduce it. But we could do it on an add-on by add-on basis, but we could also just automatically put the hash in everywhere, so you don't forget, so no one forgets, right? Okay, I think that's great. And then looks like you have the next item, which is etcd manager in the unusual AWS regions, China and US government.
Yeah, and I just put this on there because it got brought up in the Cops dev channel and I didn't want us to miss it. So not really my issue, but I didn't want us to miss it because it seems like a change that we should make sure we fix before the final 112.
Okay, yeah, particularly if it's a regression in terms of behavior. That was a great point. I think this PR is good. I think there was a debate about the exact environment variable to set and where to source it from.
Yeah, I think it was waiting for you to comment back. I think they asked you some questions specifically.
Oops, sorry. Okay, yeah, I will get on that one. Okay, and I am next on the agenda, and this is about. So we have talked about this a lot in the past, but I have finally started to pull the trigger. So we are going to catch up on the kops version numbers. We have talked in the past about how the kops .0 release is supposed to be a release that we believe to be good and ready to run in a production or close to production environment with your own verification. But that leads to a delay versus the Kubernetes release. We've talked about how we want to have alpha and beta releases earlier. We've talked about how we're like 3 releases behind that. And so we are about to do 1.12.0 beta 2. Thanks Ryan for the PR, I think, which is the one we're going to put in that. And then I this morning cut 1.13.0 alpha 1, which is a genuine alpha, but is up on GitHub. And there's a PR for 1.14.0 alpha 1. And I guess I will do cherry picks from, anyone's welcome to do cherry picks, but I will also do cherry pick. I will drive the cherry picking to those release branches, and we will maintain them we'll maintain them, and we will, for 1.15, we will release 1.15 alpha something, alpha 1, whenever, I guess whenever the first beta of Kubernetes 1.15 comes out. I can't remember exactly what we said, but that sort of time frame. And I guess we could also actually have that be the master branch for now. But this also means that now we can put bigger changes onto the master branch without risking, the sort of the release timeline. If it's a massive refactor, it will be a little tricky. So maybe we hold off on we want to move all the packages around until we've actually got a more fewer releases open. But yes, I think we can maintain more moderate changes. We can do more moderate, more focused changes that are riskier without pushing our delay further behind. Because then was it you that did the cool graph? Thank you. Yes, that graph was pretty compelling, and so we should be able to address that. And I think with 1.15 we should have kops 1.15. I think the goal should be that we release kops 1.15 beta 1 at the same time as Kubernetes 1.15.0. That's a lot of numbers.
That's awesome. I'm very excited. Great job, Justin, getting all this together.
Well, I'm just running scripts, so thank you.
I was actually going to ask, so did you cut the 113 and 114 branches today then? So everything in masters, are close to?
Yes.
So at what point were those?
I cut them this morning, and I tagged 113 on the branch, and I did 114 as a PR to the master branch because I wanted to get the node up change because we sort of don't want to leave that isolated. I probably actually should have made that 115, but I don't know. We can figure it out.
Perfect.
Yeah, it feels a little weird to cut 115 now, but I guess that's what the master branch is. So
yeah.
And all right, next on the agenda, Mike.
So this I pinged you, but I think you've had a busy week, I assume, given all the Google stuff going on. So the 1.12 beta 1 release notes don't line up with actual what was in there, because I clicked on, I was like, oh, I have a PR here, but that was from 2018. So I'm not sure what happened, but more just want to make sure. They looked like they might have been things that we cherry picked into 111 that we just never cut, 111 or 110. That we never cut an additional release for, I think. But anyway, something's misaligned slightly. Doesn't really matter, but
Thank you for the heads up. I will fix that. And I think because we need the full releases. Now we've done the beta of 1.12. We should have the full releases there. So I will make sure that they are correct.
And then the next one is also me. I just, since Justin, you were asking about, you're talking about the cherry pick script. This is the cherry pick script that I use, and it's the official Kubernetes one. So this assumes that you're in a Go, path in kops, and then it goes up one directory to Kubernetes. You set your username there so that it overrides Kubernetes as a username and your remote fork, and whatever your upstream is. So those will change, and then the branch, and then at the very end you put one or more PR IDs, and it'll merge them all into a single branch.
I like the more PR. That's really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
The script might be better than mine. All right.
Well, and I figured there's other people on the call that have done have been wondering how to do this, so that I just thought I would drop it in there for anyone that needs it.
That is super cool. Yeah, great. Yes, because I guess one of the things we should figure out is what. Sorry, did someone's no. When people are doing more PRs today, please do, if you can highlight whether you think it should go into the 112, 113, 114 branches. I will try to figure it out, but yeah, it's certainly worthy. If you have an opinion, do put it in the commit, not necessarily the commit message, but the PR description, so that we can make sure to label this cherry pick and make sure it gets in the back branches, as it were.
Yeah. So do you want us to? Should we be putting more things on milestones then? I feel like this could get confusing pretty quickly. I know Kubernetes has this solved, but
it doesn't. Okay. Yes. If there are features, yes, we absolutely should put them on milestones. The milestones, though, are more forward-looking. So I wouldn't try to use milestones to donate. You can only also have one milestone in Git, as far as in GitHub, as far as I know. I don't know if we could do a label. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes, I don't think we should have milestones, but maybe. I don't know. I think just a comment to start with, and we can sort of try to figure it out, and then.
Agreed.
And
all right, cool.
And I'm going to try to. I think it's important to try to cherry pick the things in order. Otherwise, I worry that the cherry picks will start to break. So yeah, if people want to open their own cherry picks, that's wonderful. But if not, then I will do them as needed, because I don't want to miss any PRs and then have conflicts. Wow, well, we tore through that agenda. All right. I don't know if anyone else has anything they would like to discuss, but otherwise, yeah, we have, looks like a couple of things to do and lots of exciting stuff. So the exciting thing is, I think if people want to do bigger things, we are certainly at the point where you can do that, and it might not land until COPS 115, but COPS 115 is maybe now 3 months away, at least for beta 1. So, or less than 3 months away, whenever the release is. 2 months away. So please do send exciting stuff. I think I don't feel that you should be constrained by we've in a sort of mini hold because of the backlog, but I think that is no longer going to be the case because the branches are cut. So chalks away.
Can we discuss what's remaining for 112 stable to go out?
Yeah, I think as far as I know, there's no features missing or that are required. I think it's just building more confidence in that release. I think I think Ryan and I don't know, maybe some other people found some issues around mixed instance policy, which is new functionality in 112, but still important. And so we had to fix that, but I guess it's reassuring that the things that are broken are still in new functionality. I think the etcd manager thing might be worthy in GovCloud and China might be another blocker. Other than that, I'm not aware of any other blockers, and certainly no more features. I hope no more features going on to 112. I would be disappointed if we put another feature into 112.
Yeah, and I would add that from the mixed instance policy standpoint, that seems solid at this point. I've been testing that on our test clusters and have both moved to mixed instance policies and switched back to ASGs and back to mixed instance policies a few times with the Terraform output mode, and I've hit no issues.
That's great.
Yeah, I got a chance to test it out too, and everything was working fine. I found a few issues, but that's mostly on how AWS sets things up and not on kops itself. So,
are there things things we should fix, or
no, it's just how AWS launch templates kind of work. I tested them out manually as well to verify, and there's nothing we can specifically do.
okay? Maybe like some docs or something, or if you open an issue, we can figure it out. But yeah, that would be, because I'm sure other people will hit the same thing. I don't know if anyone else has any bumps or blockers for 112 that they would like to mention. Otherwise,
I have some feedback on the etcd documentation. So
it's
I've been testing. So I've been testing this a lot in AWS China. So I'm that guy. And at first, it wasn't clear to me if I had to use etcd manager if I was already on etcd 3 and using TLS. So I did some playing around earlier this week and determined that, yeah, I do need to use etcd manager for that. I also went into the kops dev channel yesterday and kind of scrolled up and saw a few weeks ago that this was already discussed. And there was a mention of updating the documentation to kind of include that and be more explicit. I'm happy to update that if that would be helpful, because that was something that was kind of confusing for me. So yeah, just feedback on that.
That is wonderful. Thank you, and that's a very polite way of giving the feedback. It is hard to find the time, and it is hard to sort of see the documentation with fresh eyes. So yes, if you see anywhere that the docs could be improved, that would be a PR is greatly appreciated. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's just getting it going, that's really helpful. And we also I personally do not have an account in AWS China. Any testing or bugs or anything like that is greatly appreciated. And please do put things on I guess, it's hard to keep up with the flow, but on Slack and everything. But yes, if you do put GitHub issues, or GitHub issues seem to be a great way for permanent, longer running discussions, and Slack seems to be a great way for faster ones. But the Slack ones are more likely to get missed. But do open those, and that would be, anything you can do there is greatly appreciated.
Okay.
And we did decide to make etcd manager required, I think, because of things like backups and restore, and being able to resize the etcd cluster, the number of members of the etcd cluster. Essentially, that's sort of why we did that.
Okay, thanks.
Justin, since we're on the etcd manager topic, I've tried to use it a few times, and I keep hitting issues at points, and I'd love to debug them. I don't even know if they're on my side or if it's something with etcd manager. The documentation around it just is not the greatest currently, and even digging through the code, it can be hard to find exactly what's going on or where I should even be looking. So just giving people a little more information around that might be really helpful, not only for them, but for us too, for the future as we start debugging these things.
Yeah, that is fair. I think I will try to do that. And I can try to write some docs to be more like, this is how it should work and all this sort of thing. I think this is the basic flow. I think if you are looking to understand what's going on, the output of the etcd manager pods is supposed to be comprehensive, perhaps overly comprehensive. And there should be a leader elected or a leader determined amongst the 3, I'm guessing in your case, etcd manager, 5 etcd manager pods. And so that one is going to be the most interesting because it sort of drives the decisions of the others. Yeah, if you want to Slack me them or something, or put them on.
Sounds good. The last time I hit the issues, I posted a bug against etcd manager itself.
Cool. I will try to catch up. I have been.
Yeah, I completely understand. I know you're super busy.
No. It's been a busy time, but I should now have more a little bit more slack.
Sounds good.
But yeah, and I think the etcd manager, the long-term plan for that is we've kicked off a project joining in with the platform 9, have a sort of similar tool. That's going to be an official C cluster lifecycle project. I think based on timings, we're going to try to get everyone onto etcd 3 first before we sort of move to etcd man, like at the new etcd ADM system. But then, yes, we're basically going to get the functionality of etcd manager in there and have it be hopefully better documented. And one of the things we're working on is the idea that etcd manager is an automated way of running etcd ADM commands, so it should be more self-explanatory what is happening.
Sounds good.
Yeah, actually, now that we're talking about this, I had one thing that I forgot to actually create an issue for or anything. We had hard-coded etcd versions. We were already on etcd 3, but I think we were on 3.0 dot something, and it just didn't work at all. It worked once I upgraded to 3.1 and then 3.2, and 3.2 was good. But so is there a minimum etcd version? And if that's the case, I'm happy to open a PR to document that. But.
Yes, so etcd manager includes in the image a set of etcd versions it can run today. We should validate that you are not running one of those that is not included, I think is the easy thing to do in kops. We should also expand the set of etcd images that's included in etcd manager is the ones that are actually supported by Kubernetes at any point. I think, but I'm guessing we missed one. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, exactly.
Don't tell my boss.
I don't know. I think we could have missed one because I think there was one which I didn't put in there because by the time kops got to it, there was a new recommended, like Kubernetes did a midstream or out of band update. So I'm guessing, anyway, we could put all the etcd images, all the etcd versions in that etcd manager image. That's one approach. There are a lot. But we can certainly put more in. If there's one missing that everyone wants, we can definitely pop it in there, right? It's not that heavy. We can make it that etcd manager is better about not requiring all the images, all the versions, and start to have an etcd manager version per etcd. What etcd ADM does is actually downloads etcd into the pod, which I'm imagining will make people a little bit unhappy. But maybe that's a better option than if you don't have it at all, maybe that's a better option. So I think there's stuff we can do in etcd manager. I think we should at least start with validating in kops that you're not running something which is just not going to work, right? I think. Do you remember which? If you email me or whatever the actual version you're running, I'll try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, we've upgraded since then because I was just like, oh wow, you could upgrade, to minor versions in that etcd. You couldn't even jump straight. Yeah, I'll find out what that was and I'll send you a message.
Cool, thank you.
Might be worth improving the documentation to mention the narrow version requirements.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good idea. Okay.
So while we're on the etcd manager topic, now that we've got 1.14 tagged, I have a feature request open on etcd manager to support that I linked in there to support the listen metrics URL, which is in 3.3.10 for Kubernetes 1.14. That'd be great to get that one added. as we get into 1.14.
Cool. I'm reading that, but there was a. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then
And it looks like we have one more thing added to the agenda there by Andrew as well.
Andrew, you here?
Yeah, hope it's okay. Yes, hi. Hope it's okay. I added it last minute. So some of you know I added alpha support for DigitalOcean last year. I don't work there anymore, so I don't have time to keep supporting it. I know maybe a few months ago I asked if anyone else wanted to maintain it. I don't think there is anyone that wants to keep supporting it and push it to beta. So I'm at least willing to do the work to undo the alpha support and just remove it entirely. So I wanted to kind of see what the consensus is there. Do we want to just support it alpha forever or just remove it?
It is feature flagged, right?
Yes, it is feature flagged.
And do we know how broken it is?
It's actually it's not broken. It works. It just doesn't do it doesn't do upgrades. It doesn't do HA. So there's it lacks a lot of features, which is why it's kind of feature gated as alpha. I've been using it once in a while for like testing, but yeah, I don't know if anyone's using it in production. So again, like I don't want to clutter the kops code with all this DigitalOcean stuff if no one's using it, and I'm willing to do the work and remove all that code just to free up some space there, and because I like deleting code. So I don't mind doing it.
By the way, do you know how stable it is, like this hosted Kubernetes by DigitalOcean? I mean, they have their own service, right?
Yes, they do, and that's one of the larger reasons why it's not too many people using it in production.
I mean, if it's good enough, like we see the same thing with Azure, right? So no one is willing to actually build it. So I think removing something that's feature gated that no one wants to maintain. Deleting sounds great to me.
Yeah, maybe we put out a call, like deprecation and a call for maintainers or something. I don't know where we would do that, like an issue, I guess. But I think this is the we can mention like SIG cloud provider. I guess that's where DigitalOcean people would be, right,
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yes. Yeah, I know a few folks. I'll reach out, but I've already poked a few people to see, but I don't think there's.
It would also be super interesting for this to be the if we're going to remove it, for this to be the one that we move to cluster API.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a nice like experimental thing. I mean, it is also the only supported provider that's using the Cloud Controller Manager too, which was kind of a nice way to see how feasible it is in kops. So that was nice. But yeah, I mean, I can talk to Marco and see if he wants to take that on. I don't know. But yeah, I'll follow up. I just wanted to kind of see like what the sentiment is around this and if we rather delete it or not.
I haven't gotten to play with it yet. I still want to play with it, man.
I mean, if it's
I don't know.
feature gated, we had other ones feature gated forever, right? That never have really made it out of alpha. Like OpenStack is finally getting some traction, but
That's what I was going to say. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're okay with it just being alpha gated forever, like I'm okay with that too. I just wanted to do the nice thing and say that I will remove it if that is what we want for the project.
I think we're okay either way. I think it would be great to see if anyone is interested in doing it, and also because it is feature gated, with the understanding they can try, like if someone wants to try something cooler with it, like like let's go to cluster API or let's do something like that, then that's actually something they can do.
So I'll open an issue and then I'll see if anyone's interested and then go from there.
Awesome, thank you. I think we have reached the end of our agenda. I don't know if anyone else has anything they would like to bring up or add, or. All right, then I wish everyone a very happy weekend. Thank you all very much, and see you in 2 weeks, and pretty soon after that in Barcelona, I guess.
Woohoo!
Thanks, everybody.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.